What's up guys, Bailey here again today. Today we've got an episode of Pump Talk with my sister, but quickly before we get into that, I've just got some news from Manscaped about the new Boxers 2.0 that they've just released. So as part of the performance package, you get the original Boxers, which I use all the time. They're really good for training because you'll notice like certain like Calvin Kleins and stuff, pretty hard to breathe in, maybe a little bit of chafing even. So they've just released the Boxers 2.0, super soft and breathable fabric. So you can breathe without breaking a sweat. Their tagless waistband hugs your body without digging in, and it lays flat against your skin to reduce the chafing. So I'm definitely going to cop these as soon as they get released. I think they're out now. They come in different sizes and colors from size small to 3 extra large. So anyone out there, depending on your height and weight, you can give these a go. Like I said, I definitely recommend them for anyone who's exercising quite a bit. Any athletes, gym goers, runners, these are perfect for you. Even my partner Steph mentioned she was going to get some because they're comfortable. She tried mine on, she's like, oh, they look so comfortable. So ladies, potentially for you as well. So you guys can use code PUMPTALK at the counter for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Check those out, use the discount code, help support me and get yourself some brand new boxes. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. Let's get into it. What's up guys, welcome to Pump Talk. We've got my sister in here today, Hannah. I'm in New Zealand for a few weeks, so I thought I'd get some episodes out here whilst we're here. I think she's got some pretty good information and knowledge she can pass on to you guys. So introduce yourself, tell everyone a bit about you.
Right, so as Bailey said, my name's Hannah. I'm 21 years old. Last year I graduated with my bachelor's degree in sport and exercise science, which is the same course that Bailey did through EIT. I started in the gym it was about March of 2019, and I started in the gym actually because of the course. So it wasn't that I wasn't happy with my body or that I wanted to put on size or anything like that. I actually started the gym because the first 6 months of the course that I was in was training to become a personal trainer. And everyone in my class, apart from me and I think 1 or 2 other girls, all had gym memberships. They were gymming regularly. They already knew a lot about the gym, and I kind of thought to myself, in 6 months' time, I'm going to be a qualified personal trainer.
Without having any knowledge of the gym.
I've never stepped into a gym before. I need to do this for myself, for my study. And so with Bailey, obviously I knew that he was well into the gym. He knew a lot about it. So I reached out to him and pretty much said, I want to sign up to the gym. And that's where it all started.
That's where it started,
The start of the bulk was like a slow bulk just above maintenance, and then we slowly built up. Now I'm eating around 400 calories surplus every single day, and I've got up to, I'm currently sitting around 58.5.
Yeah, so it's a good lean bulk. So I just wanted to say for you guys that are looking to bulk up. I've talked about this before, but I made that mistake of dirty bulking and then putting on too much fat and looking bad. Whereas with Hannah, we've done a lean bulk. It's taken 6 or 7 months, but she's put on a little bit of fat, but what did you say? It was like 1 kilo of fat and 4 kilos of lean tissue.
Yeah.
So people say it's impossible if you're natty to put on more than 2 kilos of lean muscle. Absolute bullshit, because we've just done it.
In 6 months.
So it's pretty crazy when we look at those photos because, we can see, you've still got the shape and you're still relatively lean without blowing out, but you've put on a lot of size and the weight and the scale just goes to show it.
Keep the calories low but not too low to where I've got no energy and
You'd rather
can't
do more
put
cardio.
strength. Yeah.
Because that's the thing, that's a way you can go about it is a lot of people are like, I'm in a deficit, I'm trying to lose weight. That means I need to drop my calories to like 1.2k. Whereas, say for example, your calories at 1.5k, you may drop down 100 calories 1 week, but then the next week you may do 100 extra calories of cardio so you can keep the food high. So it's about doing it that way. But then I think a lot of people forget that if they drop their calories too low, their energy levels are low, their motivation is going to be low. There's probably a higher chance that you'll stuff up your diet and you'll give into a cheat meal or something because you're so, deprived of like normal eating. So that's definitely the best way to do it, is keep your calories as high as you possibly can. So you're still in a deficit, but do the cardio, do the extra exercise. So moving forward, I wanted to talk about a pretty big issue that is prevalent in the gym scene and has been for a while, which is the misconception of women getting too big from exercising or from working out. So you do hear that quite often is, oh, you go to the gym, don't get too big. Like, people have said that to me as well, don't get too big, whatever. But especially with females, it's like seen as, oh, I'm not going to go sign up because as soon as I start doing bicep curls, I'm going to get jacked. Where it's like, there's so many guys out there who are eating 5,000 calories and training really hard and heavy, and they can't even get that. So it's like, the guys are producing testosterone, the females obviously aren't. So it's a lot harder for females to get big. So did you hear that a lot from people, or do you still hear that?
Yeah, I definitely have been told a few times, like, oh, just don't get too big, or, a lot of it comes from social media as well. I think that's where a lot of people see these images and they're like, oh, I don't want to look like that, or I'm scared that if I lift weights, that's how I'm going to look. I'd rather do Pilates or just body weight exercises.
Yeah.
But they don't realise that weights aren't going to make you bulky. Weights, I think, if anything, have enhanced my feminine shape, and I actually prefer the way I look now than when I first started.
Yeah, I think people see the images of girls on Instagram and stuff, and they're like, oh my god, she looks so good. But little do they know, they're probably deadlifting 100 kilos and doing heavy squats, heavy hip thrusts.
And you wouldn't think it.
But it's that misconception that, oh, if you do those big exercises, which guys do, you're going to get jacked. That's how you look toned and healthy as a female. You should be doing resistance training if you're wanting to look that certain way. So I just think it's quite funny how that, I've heard that so much throughout the past few years, especially is I'll get a new client and they'll say, I want to get good glutes and good core and good shoulders, but I don't want to get too big. And I'm like, don't worry, you won't. Like, if you're trying to get big, you really need to be pushing the food like so hard. You need to be training hard and heavy in a progressive overload. And for some females, taking PEDs if you want to get big. And it's like, it doesn't happen easily. If you're wanting that hourglass figure like you mentioned, do your shoulders, train your back so you develop your lats, and then it does give you that illusion. Obviously, I've competed and done that stuff. Is that something that you'd ever look into, or not really for you?
I mean, I definitely have thought about it. But realistically, I can't see it happening anytime soon.
We've both genetically got good shoulders, a slim waist, which is good for aesthetics and would be good for competing. Like, with the amount of effort and you put in training and eating, you could do really, really well on stage. But it's a whole other thing, to be, I can look good in a cut versus I can compete, because at competing you need to get on stage, you need to be able to be comfortable doing that.
And the posing, I can't see myself doing it.
I think you could nail the diet and the training, but actually doing it is another thing. And
I don't really have a reason to do it. Like, I'm just happy with how I'm going at the gym at the moment, doing it for like physical and mental health, and just, I don't want to have an unhealthy, obsessive relationship with it. I feel like where I'm at the moment is a good balance, and I'm happy to just stay at this level for the years to come.
And that's what I found. So we may as well touch on competing as well. Is when I competed the first time, I was like, fuck that, I'm not going to cut out drinking and going out with my friends. So I was going out drinking every week to the week before my show. And I was eating, like, whatever. But then the second and third time around, I was like, okay, I need to take this more serious. And I remember being like 6 weeks out and I wasn't going out with my friends. I was eating horrible meals. And mentally, it took me down a real bad path. So when I finished the prep, I just went crazy. I was drinking all the time. I was whatever. People don't really realize, so many people start now, they're like a year or two into training and they're like, I'm competing, I'm going to become Mr. Olympia. It's like, I don't think you realize how much goes into this. You need to put aside, if you want to do well, you really need to put aside everything. Your work takes a toll, your mental health takes a toll, time with friends, family, partner, whatever, all gets on the back burner.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just hear that so often now, and people competing too prematurely. Like, I think even I competed way too soon. I wasn't ready, but this guy said to me, do it for the experience to see if you actually like it or not.
Yeah.
But I think now anyone, you know, who starts a gym, like I see it on TikTok all the time, they're like, future Mr. O. And I'm like,
Me too,
dude, do you know how hard that is to even turn pro nowadays? Do you know how hard it is to complete a prep? Like, it's not that easy. And I used to think that too. Like, I could compete in the Mr. Olympia. Probably not. Like, even if I took all the PDs in the world, trained hard, got into the genetics too, and the willpower is the hardest thing. Yeah. We talked about before how you were training with me.
Yeah.
So what's your experience with online coaching? Because I think for some people listening to this, they could, you know, they see myself and other coaches promoting their online coaching, but they don't actually understand what's involved. So for you, do you want to give them a rundown on, you know, what you get as part of the online coaching, your experience with the online coaching, and how it all works?
Okay, so pretty much before the online coaching, me and Bailey were doing personal training sessions in person back when he was living in NZ, which I really liked because I like the idea of having a coach who can help me, especially back when I was first starting. I didn't know a whole lot about it, wanted to make sure that I nailed the technique. But then as time went on, obviously I got a degree in sport and exercise, so I kind of knew more myself, and I just gained more experience, and it kind of worked out with Bailey going to the online coaching because I think now I wouldn't really need you in person with the online coaching.
And that's what I've said. Like, I think at the start you needed someone to tell you what you should be doing and the right way to do it. But a lot of people are the same. Like, they may need someone there just to start them off on the right track. But you don't need to pay someone to be there with you every single day. It does become expensive. So the online coaching is a good way for people to still be held accountable by a coach, still be on the right track. I'm telling you what to do and how to do it, even though you already know. You don't need the motivation of me being there with you. You've already got the motivation, and a lot of people do. So just having someone that's in your corner, that's another set of eyes on you going, okay, you're doing this right, you need to do this better. Someone actually who cares about your results just as much as you do.
So how me and Bailey do it is we work out the split, which I'll stay at for like 6 to 10 weeks.
Usually about 6 weeks at least.
And then Bailey will log all of my workouts for me before I even get to the gym. So if I'm on my break at work or just before I'm about to go to the gym, I can plan out my workout, all the weights that I'm going to do. It gives you a little like questionnaire thing at the start about your sleep for the day, your mood, if you're feeling sore, and then I can get into the gym. I've got my whole workout there ready to go. I know exactly what I'm doing, and it just saves so much time. I think if you're busy, having online coaching is so helpful.
And that's the thing as well. Like, I've been guilty of this in the past, is going to the gym and just going, oh shit, what do I want to do today? I'll do a bit of this, do a bit of this. But then there's no way to track the progression if you're not keeping the same exercises. It shows me as a coach, you know, where you're progressing and where you're not progressing, and then where we need to make changes if need be.
I do not want to go through and like write out a whole new workout plan for like push, pull, legs, whatever. So the fact that you just do all that hard stuff, I do it all for you,
and you don't even have to think about it. You go into the gym, you've got a checklist of what you need to do, you write your weights in, you leave a comment if you want, and then it's done. A few quick fire 5 questions. Favourite body part to train and why?
Definitely not legs. I would say probably back.
Back.
I really enjoy training back.
Is it the mind-to-muscle connection that you get, or does it the feeling of a pump, or...?
I think the mind-to-muscle connection. And
it's quite hard to establish with back, but when you do, it feels good. Favourite cheat meal?
Probably Anatolia's, which is
Turkish. For anyone doesn't know.
Like just the chicken on rice with hummus, yogurt, garlic, or if I'm feeling like extra cheating, I will have like meat on chips. So good.
Anatolia's is good. Favourite gym machine?
Probably lat pull down.
Lat pull down, interesting. Okay.
Or just like cables, I'd say. Cables.
Biggest fear, like a physical thing. What is
eels?
Fear? Eels?
Yes.
What?
Come on, you know that.
I didn't know that.
Yes, you do. I've always been scared of eels. I hate eels. I won't swim in a river because
More so
of it.
than spiders,
Yep.
snakes,
Yeah.
everything.
Eels are disgusting. They freak me out. They don't have legs. They just look scary.
And then final question, one thing that you want to achieve within the next 3 years. So it could be buying a house, getting a car, it could be getting to a certain position in the gym. What are your thoughts?
I'd definitely like to be a homeowner in the next 3 years.
Yep, it's a good goal. Everyone wants to be a homeowner nowadays. I think there's a bit of expectation behind that, like, especially me and my friends. Like, most of my friends are 25 to like 35, and they're all saying, you know, when are you going to buy a house? When is this? And it's like, shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is expensive, especially like New Zealand and Australia housing market's just absolute
Especially
stuff.
this is way worse. Than
So that would be a great goal to achieve.
Yeah.
I'd love to update my car. I've got Mum's hand-me-down car, which it does the job, it gets me around, but...
What car would you want to buy?
My dream car would be, this is probably not surprising, but a Range Rover.
Of course.
Yeah, I'd love to have a Range Rover.
Like a white girl car.
Yeah, but realistically, maybe like a Audi A3, something along those lines. Still realistic, but just more of an upgrade.
Yep. There's so many people now that I've noticed who have started podcasts after I started Pump Talk. I'm not saying I'm the sole reason, but it's just becoming more of a popular thing to do now. And I just wanted to say, for anyone that's considering to start a podcast, absolutely go for it. But just keep in mind that it takes so much more time and effort and money than you think. I thought, like, going into this, you know, it'd be fun. I'd set up a camera, we'd talk some shit, and then we'd upload it, you know, and it's that easy. But you need to take into consideration the cost for a good camera, a cost for, to be honest, look, we have this, but we're going to invest in some actual microphones. So cost for microphones, a computer with editing software, recording software. You need to take into consideration getting guests on who are comfortable, topics to talk about, time to film, or time to plan it, time to film, time to edit, time to get it on YouTube, and then promotion. So it's a lot harder than you think, and I've probably had 6 or 7 people since I've been in Adelaide saying, hey, I saw Pump Talk, I'm going to start my own podcast. So this is just tips for you guys that are considering to do that, is it's not as straightforward and easy as you may think. You're not just going to get into it and it's going to blow up right away. The podcasts that you see that are really popular, Impulsive, Modcast, some of those ones, they're popular because the people that start them are already popular. So they start the podcast and they've already got 500k followers. 100k of those followers may go to the podcast does well. Someone like myself, you know, I'm at less than 5k followers. Making a podcast big is hard, it takes time. So for anyone that's, you know, quite new into the fitness industry or doesn't have a huge following, just remember that it's not going to happen overnight and it does take time. Like, I've been doing this now for 6 or 7 months and I haven't been too consistent with it, but it does take time and a lot of effort. So that's just a quick tip for anyone who's considering starting that, is keep that in mind for sure. And then, we can potentially do another podcast when I come back at the end of the year or start of next year and revisit where we're at.
After my cut.
After your cut. So thanks for watching, guys. I don't know what episode this is again of Pump Talk, but I just want to say thanks for Hannah for coming on. Thanks for you guys for watching. All the links are below. Manscaped is the first link in the description. Make sure you click that code Pump Talk for 20% off and free shipping. Leave a like and a comment, guys. Like, in terms of the algorithm and stuff, it definitely does help and it pushes, you know, me actually making this into a full-time thing. It takes 2 seconds, so I would appreciate anyone who can do that.
Do it.
Thanks for watching and we'll see you guys again soon.